All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Bowl TV. This is Matt Canizaro live at the Schwabenon Bowling Alley here in Green Bay. And you're watching live coverage of the 2015 USBC Senior Masters. This is B Squad qualifying day number 1. We had A Squad on the lanes earlier today, and we'll give you a rundown of the leaders on that squad. Again, this is the start of B Squad. They'll bowl 5 games and then be done for the day. Qualifying here at the Senior Masters is 3 days, 5 games a day for 3 days, and after 15 games, the top 63 will join defending champion Walter Ray Williams Jr. in the double elimination match play bracket. We appreciate everybody stopping by. Should get pretty exciting over the next couple days. Final entry count, 194 of the best USBC members age 50 and older here in Green Bay, battling for a spot in that bracket with Walter Ray Williams Jr. 2013 champ Pete Weber had a great day today. We'll get to the rundown here very shortly, and then we'll settle in for 5 games of qualifying here on B Squad. So thanks for tuning in again. Matt Canizaro live in Green Bay, 2015 USBC Senior Masters. Thanks for joining us.
up right away. I saw the pin, man. Yeah, I didn't expect that. It's good. And it needs somebody softer to throw it. So I tried to throw that one soft, and I was like, make sure you throw it soft. Throw it by the break. A little early.
All right, I hope everybody's getting comfortable as we settle in for 5 games of B Squad qualifying here. I see some questions in the chat room and some very excited bowling fans. Chad Newman among them from Ballard's Pro Shop in Watauga. We do appreciate everybody joining us. And the question about the standings, they will be uploaded at the end of each block. Right now you can see round 1 through A Squad. Just go to bowl.com/Senior Masters, find 2015 results, and you will see that Pete Weber, the Hall of Famer and 2013 Senior Masters champion, is leading the way, plus 183 for his 5 games earlier today, followed by PBA champion Mark Williams at plus 136. Mark McDowell, 5-time PBA champ, hitting that 50 number and showing he's at the top of his game still, plus 134. And then some separation. 4th place is Paul McCordick, the left-hander, at plus 88. Brian Cooper, plus 87. Harvey Palace, plus 65 in 6th place. Ricky Woods, plus 64 in 7th place. Mark Abraham, plus 58. 2-time winner, Tom Baker, the Hall of Famer, plus 48. And rounding out the top 10, Kevin Anderson of Mount Juliet, Tennessee, plus 33. Our defending champion, Walter Ray Williams Jr., tied for 11th place at plus 32. And again, as the defending champ, he's automatically seeded into the top 64. Should he finish out of that number, he'll be guaranteed that 64 spot, but he's going to bowl all 15 games of qualifying and try to improve on that standing, and doing very well so far, again tied for 11th. Right now, 32nd place. After A Squad today, there's a tie at minus 21. So half the field on A Squad, half on B. A Squad this morning was on fresh. This year we're using a 40-foot lane condition, and if you want to see the graph, again, you can visit bowl.com/Senior Masters. Check that out. Very colorful and helpful. And all the numbers there for you. A little heavier volume. A little more than 28 mils. Didn't slow down Pete Weber at all. There's some great players on the last squad, and pretty stacked squad here. We see on our featured pairs, of course, the USBC Hall of Famer Sam Lanto. Robert Harvey, also a talented senior player here. On our other pair, Brian LeClaire, recently 50 and always a threat. Again, 192 total entries, or 194 is the final number, with B Squad now started. And these guys are bowling on the burn. The lanes were not re-oiled after A Squad. Tomorrow they'll flip-flop. B Squad will bowl first on the fresh. A Squad will come in, bowl on the burn, and then on Thursday, everybody will get fresh. So we'll shift the schedule, start by 1 hour. Instead of starting at noon, they'll start bowling at 11 a.m. here in Green Bay. And we'll have time to re-oil before the 5 o'clock B Squad. And then after those 15 games, we'll cut the field to the top 63 plus Walter Ray Williams Jr. And you'll see wire-to-wire coverage here on Bowl TV. Again, this is Matt Canizaro live here behind lanes 33 and 34, 35 and 36 at the Schwabenon Bowling Alley in Green Bay. We were here earlier in the year for the USBC Masters. That event won by Jason Belmonte, of course, making history, becoming the first player to win 3 consecutive Masters titles. Pete Weber finished 3rd in that event, so he's feeling pretty good and comfortable here in Green Bay. And then the USBC Queens here in May. We saw Liz Johnson take home her 2nd Queens title. And earlier that day, Hall of Famer Robin Romeo won her second consecutive Senior Queens title. So a lot of excitement, a lot of history made here in Schwabenon. Looking forward to a little bit more here at the Senior Masters, and this event will be followed by the Super Senior Classic coming up next week, and then the USBC Senior Championship. So a lot happening here, and a lot of great moments under this roof so far, and looking forward to some more. So thanks for joining us, and we'll have some more details for you as things really get underway here. Again, the first game of 5. Thanks for tuning in.
Good choices, though.
Alright, so we're in the 10th frame here of our first game of B Squad qualifying at the 2015 USBC Senior Masters. Again, Pete Weber is the gentleman everybody's chasing, plus 183. And right now, 32nd place at minus 21. After 3 days of qualifying, 15 total games, the top 63 will join defending champion Walter A. Williams Jr. in the double elimination match play bracket. So a long, long way to go here. Always nice to get off to a strong start. Craig Frankel certainly did that with a 235 in game number 1 here. He'll be high on his pair, 35 and 36 here at the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley. Robert Harvey is a 10 pin away from 212. 201 for Jeff Shaw. Brian Leclerc still gets you 227 here in the opener. And Kusira, trouble in the 10th. USBC Hall of Famer, 2-time Eagle winner at the USBC Open Championship, Sam Lanto. Still has a shot at 257 here. Lanto with the open in the 10th, 225 finish. And we'll get ready for it. Game number 2 coming up next here. Thanks for tuning in to Bowl TV. This is Matt Canizaro live from Green Bay. We'll be here all week long. Game 2 coming up next.
Way ahead of last game. Well, rough start.
All right, so again, we have a few familiar names here on our featured pair, starting with the tall left-hander, C.K. Moore, the 1996 PBA Rookie of the Year, rolled a televised perfect game in 1996 against Parker Bone. C.K. a one-time PBA champion on the national tour. Also on this pair, Steven Brinkman, a Milwaukee Hall of Famer and two-time Eagle winner at the USBC Open Championships. On our other pair, Dale Eagle. He's a champion here at the Senior Masters. Dale Eagle also with 3 PBA national titles. Eagle also has 12 PBA 50 tour titles, so really shining on the senior tour. That includes the 2003 Senior Masters. And we'll wait for some deadwood to get cleared here for Mr. Brinkman. Do appreciate everybody joining us on today's broadcast. So 4 on most pairs, 3 on others. 2 squads here, A and B squad. This is B squad qualifying round 1 at the 2015 USBC Senior Masters. A squad already done and gone. They bowled at noon local time, 1 p.m. Eastern. Pete Weber jumping out to the early lead at plus 183. Mark Williams plus 136. Mark McDowell plus 134, and then some separation. 4th place, Paul McCordick, plus 88. Brian Cooper at plus 87 to round out the top 5. And if you want to see the complete standings from A Squad, just visit bowl.com/Senior Masters, and you can check out all kinds of good information about this week's event. We are here at the Schwabenon Bowling Alley in Green Bay, home of the 2015 USBC Masters Queens and Senior Queens earlier in the year. You can see today's complete standings as well as take a look at the lane condition they're bowling on. And we'll have a recap for you at the end of the day. Get some thoughts from today's leader. See if anybody can catch Mr. Weber, the 2013 Senior Masters champion and last week's runner-up in Minnesota. If you have any questions, you know where to find us. Folks have been doing so all day long. You can give us a question or comment in the chat room, or you can find us Facebook and Twitter. The Sport of Bowling, USBC on Facebook, at USBC on Twitter. And if you want to reach out to me personally, Matt Canizaro, USBC on Facebook, at USBC Matt on Twitter. Looks like the timing of these squads worked out pretty well. A nice crowd on in here at the Schwabenon Bowling Alley. Watching today's B squad. Dave Labar had the front four. Slowed by the 10 pin there on the 5th shot. Also a 10 pin for Brinkman, 10 pin for Darvin. Let's see if Hewlett can make it 4 for 4. Again, these guys bowling on the burn. Hewlett says no dice. I'm going to get the strike here for the double. A squad was on fresh this morning. B squad on the burn. They'll flip-flop tomorrow for 5 more games. And then everybody's on the fresh on Thursday for the final 5 games of qualifying.
These have been good runs. Yeah. Tell them just rolling too tight. Just throw
Sell lottery tickets here.
Game number 2 rolling on here. B squad, 2015 USBC Senior Masters. Dave LeBar looking comfortable. He's got 5 out of 7 here on 33 and 34. Dale Eagle with 6 out of 7 on 35 and 36. And some of you have found live scoring here at the Schwabenheim Bowling Alley. Some great players spread throughout the house here. Hall of Famers, past champions at the Senior Masters. On the squad off the top of my head, Mike Edwards won this event in 2012. Dale Eagle, of course, on our featured pair, won back in 2003. Hall of Famers Sam Lanto, Rick Steelsmith on this squad. So a lot of talent spread across all of the 194 entries. Star-studded, looking forward to an exciting double elimination bracket coming up starting Friday. And then, of course, the exciting stepladder finals live on Bowl TV on Sunday. All right, here we are in the 10th frame of game number 2. Things moving along. This B squad got things started at 5 p.m. local time, 6 p.m. Eastern. And we're an hour in and getting ready to wrap up game number 2. Some pretty good efforts here on Bowl TV on our featured pairs. Again, we're at the Schwabenon Bowling Alley behind lanes 33 through 36. And we'll be here all week long. Lucas Wiseman will join me starting Friday for match play. Double elimination match play bracket, always exciting for the fans and for the players. It's just a crazy event where the main goal is getting into the top 64. And then whether you're number 1 or number 64, it's a clean slate. 3-game matches, double elimination, pinfall from qualifying, completely irrelevant at that point. Terrific shot by Steve Brinkman there, getting the 7 and the 10 to go for the double. And Dave LeVar had a great start here to game number 2, 5 out of 6. Dave faltered a little bit in the back half of the game. Has not struck since that 6th frame. But looking at 212 here. Max score. So Hewlett 208. Darvin tough game 142, but Dale Eagle 248 here in game number 2. Gary Reynolds going to finish things up on 35 and 6. 188 for Brinkman, 212 again for LeVar. CK Moore going to take a re-rack, and the left-handers are going to finish things up for us here on our featured pairs. Moore light, nearly leaves the bucket. 6 falls out. As soon as I get an updated standing sheet, Hopefully after 2 games here on our B squad, we'll let you know what's what. Want to check out the standings after A squad this morning? You can visit bowl.com/Senior Masters. And you see that Pete Weber setting the pace at plus 183. We'll have a final recap for you later tonight. All right, game 2 now in memory here at the Schwabenon Bowling Alley. We'll have our bowlers for game 3 coming up in just a minute. Thanks for joining us for this live coverage. We'll be here all week long from Green Bay. Stay tuned.
Not good.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't have that many weapons. I had a hard time controlling the 3 I have.
I can talk to Nick separately. I use about 3 and I bring 8 or 9.
Yeah. I know.
Well, I finished that.
Here we are, game number 3. And things moving along quickly. My sources tell me that Hall of Famer Rick Steelsmith shot .298 in game 2, so I know they're typing in the scores right now. Hoping to have the updated standings here very shortly, but right now let's get settled in for game number 3. A couple of guys we've seen before. Mike Schmid, a 50-plus year participant at the USBC Open Championships. And Mr. Blatchford we've seen at the Super Senior Classic. On our other pair, USBC Gold Coach Mike Diaz. And Pete McCordick, who runs the PBA Southwest region. So Pete taking a few days off here in the middle of the week. Good timing for him. Always running great events all around the Southwest and up into the Midwest at times. So nice to see him compete. And he and his twin brother, Paul, the left-hander, they'll be here for a few extra days competing in the Super Senior Classic coming up following the Senior Masters. So a lot of bowling to be done. Always nice to see these guys still got it. Once again, 194 entries at this week's Senior Masters. Split over 2 squads. Appreciate everybody joining us. Looks like cleared the 350 mark here, so a lot of bowling fans out there watching qualifying here at the USBC Senior Masters. Things will get interesting, of course, on Friday and Saturday once we hit the double elimination match play bracket. Again, B squad bowling right now, game 3 of 5. This is the burn, as they call it. A squad bowled 5 games earlier today. The lanes were not re-oiled for this group. And tomorrow, the roles will be reversed. These guys will bowl at noon local time, 1 p.m. Eastern. And A squad will bowl on the burn at 5 p.m. local. McCordick delivers for the 4-bagger. He's cruising along here in game 3. Again, we're bowling on a 40-foot lane condition, a little bit heavier volume at 28 mils. Walter A. Williams Jr., the defending champion here at the USBC Senior Masters, bowled earlier today on A squad. He is tied for 11th place at plus 32. Of course, he is guaranteed a spot in the 64-player double elimination bracket. Should he finish outside of the top 63, he will earn that number 64 spot going into match play, but sitting pretty well in 11th place right now. And of course, still a long way to go. But it must be nice feeling, of course, to have that guaranteed spot. Get to relax a little bit, maybe try some different things, knowing that you're going to match play regardless. But Walter A., of course, a top competitor, and being the higher seed, sometimes an advantage, meaning that you'll take on a lower seed in match play, but once the pins drop, anything can happen in a 3-game match. I think that's why so many players enjoy this format and this event. So if you can just manage to squeak into the top 63, you can work some magic in a 3-game match or 2 or 7 to get yourself to the title. We appreciate everybody joining us. Tell your friends. A lot of strikes being thrown here. Pete McCordick with a 6-bagger. Greg Zika, one of our younger competitors here at the Senior Masters, with 6 out of 7. USBC Gold Coach Mike Diaz now getting some momentum with 4 of the last 5.
Shot guy.
Get your butt back there.
You're throwing pins around enough. You don't need me.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Harder to throw pins than spares. We're out of it.
Appreciate people tuning in from overseas even. So very cool to see our global reach, especially for the top senior players now. Of course, we cover a lot of, almost all of USBC's terrific events, from the USBC Open and Women's Championships to Junior Gold Championships that just concluded in the Chicago area. And now the top senior players in the spotlight for the next couple weeks here in Green Bay. Senior Masters will wrap up on Sunday, followed immediately by the Super Senior Classic and then the USBC Senior Championships. So a lot happening here at the Schwabenon Bowling Alley. This venue played host to the USBC Masters in February and the Queens and Senior Queens in May. Green Bay has been one of the top bowling destinations in the country this year, and a terrific staff here led by Matt Orvis. Diaz with the split on lane 36. However, McCordick still wheeling. Pair of spares to start and strikes in frames 3 through 9. Looking to finish strong here. Still don't have standings yet. Just waiting to get a hold of those through 2 games. This, of course, is game 3 of 5. Peter Knopp from Germany, I believe. Here on lane 33 with the big double. He can still get to 249 here in game 3. So McCordick with the spare in the 10th, he'll be in the 250s. A terrific effort to get our Squad 1 leader, Pete Weber, plus 183. 32nd place, a tie for 31st actually at minus 21. So again, after 15 games of qualifying over 3 days, the top 63 plus defending champ Walter A. Williams will advance. A lot of games, a lot of traffic still, a lot of possibilities. Again, the format changed a couple years back to give everybody the full 15-game experience and every possible chance to get into the top 63. All right, so we did just get the standings through 2 games here. Again, this is game 3 of 5. Our B squad leader, Rick Steelsmith, on the heels of a 298 game in game 2. He's plus 77 to lead the way. Christopher Keene at plus 71. Kerry Painter, very familiar name, won the Super Senior Classic back in 2013 and was the runner-up in 2014. He's at plus 70. And Leto Monticelli, USBC and PBA Hall of Famer, at plus 69. Ron Moore, a very talented senior player, at plus 68. Bo Gergen, we've seen him find success at the USBC Open Championships in recent years, plus 67. So very tight in there, with 6 players within a few pins of each other, 10 pins separating the top 5 or 6 on this squad. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll get an update after game 3. Pete McCordick at 258, a high game on our featured pairs here. Peter Knopp opens in the 10th for 215. Neil Southern also with the open frame in the 10th for 202. Craig Zika started with 6 out of 7, but has not struck since. Striking the fill here puts him at 219. David Banach, 211. Mike Diaz, 211. So 4 really good scores there on 35 and 36. And things not terrible, but not awesome here on 33 and 34 as game 3 is about to conclude. Blatchford's going to throw the final shot. All right, that's going to do it at 195. And we'll get ready for game number 4 coming right up, cruising along here on the B Squad at the 2015 USBC Senior Masters.
Thanks, Donnie.
60.
All right, one of our featured pairs already underway here. 35 and 36, not wasting any time. Looks like this pair includes 2014 Super Senior Classic champion Jim Knobloch. Celebrity sighting here in our featured pair, Bob Learn Jr. stopping by. Mr. 300 himself. Dwayne Mellinger and Bob Learn going to start things off here in game number 4. 5-game block. Rolling along here at the Schwabenon Bowling Alley in Green Bay. Thanks for joining us. Sit back and enjoy game number 4. All right, folks, we have a special treat for you here on Bowl TV as we wind through qualifying. Again, game 4 of 5 on this B squad. We'll be here all week long. 15 games over 3 days before we get down to the top 64 for the double elimination match play bracket. Now, a gentleman who knows a little bit of something about, well, first being a senior.
Wow.
And second, all of these great events and these wild formats. And we've got Hall of Famer Del Ballard stepping in. Del, how are things today?
Things are great, man. Things are great. Pete Weber's leading. Mark Williams is in second. Paul McCordick's in fourth. Brian Cooper's in fifth. All staffers.
All right,
I'm
so
happy.
you, of course, are here as a representative of Storm and Roto Grip and trying to help those players and possibly some other lucky ones do well here with all of your expertise and advice. And right now we're looking at a 40-foot pattern, a little bit heavier volume than we've seen at 28 mils. And, can you talk about the pattern and kind of your viewpoints on it, both as a player and now as a behind-the-scenes, behind-the-lanes representative?
Well, I felt like on the fresh, there's two ways to attack them. You can either go up 4, 5, 6, or start out around 12, 13, and just kind of migrate left. But when you have 4 people on a pair, everybody's going to migrate left and not play out unless they're really, really easy, and they're not that easy from out. So everybody really just migrated in, and as you can tell, everybody's swinging somewhere between 17 and 24 or whatever, getting it out to about 10 down to the tracer. Using pretty strong balls. I know our company, our staffers are all using strong balls.
All right, well, the early leader, Pete Weber, won this event back in 2013. Very comfortable in this building. Finished third at the USBC Masters in February. Came in with a pretty good idea of what he was going to do, and talked to him a little bit earlier. And he's plus 183 and led by almost 50 over Mark Williams. And now on this squad, after 2 games.
It might be updated after 3 by now.
Our leader was Rick Steelsmith, who
Yes.
had a 298 in game 2.
I don't know what he shot in game 3, though. It looked like he might have had about 180 or 190 again.
And our plan online, at least, was to have scores updated after each squad. But they'll stop by. They'll give us an updated standings here.
Okay.
We'll see what's what and see if Pete can hang on for the duration here. Nice,
Yeah,
nice
they're a
start.
little more defined tonight compared to this morning. Trying to get a feel. Everybody's trying to get a feel for what they should do, and the track's burned up a little bit now and a little opened up at them. So the scores I expect to be higher on B squad anyway.
Well, of course, we mentioned a few times so far today. The A squad bowled on that fresh 40-foot lane condition. 5 games, 4 on most pairs, 3 on others. And now B squad bowling on the burn, as they call it. And we'll flip-flop tomorrow, so everybody gets a fair shot at both variations of the lane condition. And then on day 3, all 194 competitors still will be in the running for one of those 63 spots in the bracket. Of course, those 63 will join defending champ Walter Ray Williams Jr. But both squads will bowl on fresh on Thursday. Then we'll get into match play on Friday and Saturday. Now, Dell, we talk a lot about this event almost being 2 events in one. Of course, you've got the qualifying. The format has changed a little bit over the years to where everybody bowls the 15 games now. And then total pinfall for that determines who advances. But then all those pins go away, and it's a clean slate, whether you're number 62 or number 3. It's an even playing field, and based on your success in the Masters over the years, can you talk about the mentality that it takes to come into an event like this?
You just want to grind. It doesn't matter if you qualify first or qualify 63rd. The goal is to finish in the top 63, and then luck of the draw. You hope you catch a good match, and you just go into it, try to beat your opponent. 3 games. When I won, it was actually best of 4. So actually 4 game sets, and I love the Masters. It's a different format and different lane crew than what we were using, because we had PBA lane crew and then the USBC would do them. So it just gave you a little bit different variety. I love the format.
Dell's win, of course, coming back decades ago in the 1980s. 1988 was the year.
Decades ago. Nice little shot there. Don't mind that. Were you born yet?
I was born.
Okay.
I was 9 years old in 1988.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right, so here we have standings
Oh, here we go.
through 3 games. Our B squad leader is Ron Moore, and we've seen his name as a senior player, just coming out strong on the senior tour. And he's at plus 126, so he's gaining ground on Pete Weber with 2 games to go. Next behind him, USBC and PBA Hall of Famer Amleto Monticelli at plus 116, followed by Pete McCordick. So Pete and Paul McCordick, twins, one lefty, one righty, and both of them having success here so far. Pete is at plus 100, followed by Darren Peters at plus 97, Chris Keene at plus 93. And on our featured pair right now, Bill Sell is at plus 69. So, Dell, I guess the expectation would be that as the lanes open up, you would expect B squad to be a little bit higher scoring.
Absolutely.
And, of course, a lot depends on who you follow and how they played the lanes. And we're seeing a lot of success here. And Pete Weber led early on the fresh, plus 183, followed by Mark Williams, plus 136. Mark McDowell, plus 134. So, Ron Moore.
Great to see Mark McDowell out here. Great to see him.
So I think based on the pattern and a couple days of sweepers in practice, things are pretty much going as you expected?
Pretty much. I really thought the scores would be a little higher. Mark Williams and I had a little chat earlier, and he asked me how much I thought it was going to take, and I said, it's got to be at least a 210 average. But this morning, the scores just really were not that high. But as you can tell tonight, now that they broke down, open it up a little bit, things are going to be a little easier going for B squad.
Well, I'm sure the players will learn a little bit over the first couple days and should have an exciting conclusion on Thursday afternoon.
That would be the squad I think that really matters, because if the scores are lower on A squad, on the fresh, then you have fresh. That's where it's really going to tell you how people are doing.
Well, and I would imagine that some folks will enjoy the fresh. Pete Weber clearly did, and Mark Williams, Mark McDowell, and then some like Bob Learn, as you're watching right there, just getting left and wheeling it as he delivers 5 in a row here. Bob, no stranger to hooking the ball, but
they must be really easy if Bob's got a 5-bagger.
Bob, a very versatile player, but would you consider that, even at this stage in his career, wheeling it like that's kind of his strength still?
Absolutely, yes. He's really good at either going really straight up the gutter or wheeling. Either way, he can definitely do them both.
All right, on our other featured pair, 2014 Super Senior Classic winner Jim Knobla has 7 of the first 8 with an open in the 7th. So he's cruising here. I'm just looking at the first page of the standings here. Not seeing Jim, but big game here. Should do the trick. Bob Learn down in 34th place. Right now at plus 34. This is a combined sheet of everybody who's already done on A squad and B squad. But final standings at the end of the day will be available at bowl.com/Senior Masters. And we'll have a recap. We'll talk to our tournament leader and get a feel for things. And I think the sentiments are pretty similar at this event, the Masters to Queens, especially on day one.
Yes.
You just want to get off to a good start, get yourself in position,
yourself a hole. Yep.
and maybe learn some things along the way. If you're bowling really well, maybe try some different things. Seeding important for maybe confidence, but not really too relevant when it comes down to it. All depends on who you get matched up against, what pair you get. It's just the 2 of you on 1 pair of lanes.
Correct.
So what the other folks are doing in match play doesn't matter at all.
Yep. Try to set the lanes up a little bit for yourself and give yourself an advantage. Try to take advantage of it once the match starts.
We've got a lot of familiar names in the field right now. You're watching PBA champion Kent Wagner and, of course, multi-time champion Bob Learn Jr. I bet the pro-ams for these events are pretty fun, too.
I would have to think the pro-ams and the senior events. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Let's see. Ron Moore, Pete McCordick, Darren Peters, Ross Eagle, Mike Edwards. Yeah, Rick Stillsmith had about 185, I think. It's not good in the bracket game, is it?
Well, certainly a side thought, I'm sure. So many talented players. It's been a bit of a roller coaster. We've seen names jumping up and down, and solely expect that as the lanes change and break down. And some guys who just hit that 50 number, excited to be here for sure. Mark McDowell, you mentioned.
Mark McDowell, Doug Becker, the Jason Couch wannabe.
Well, Doug Becker growing up in my part of the country down there in Florida. Had a chance to watch him a little bit as I grew up, and really saw I won't say a reinvention, but he really got the fire back as he approached 50. Spent a lot of time in the gym and on the lanes, getting some new equipment and just really getting a feel for things again after kind of laying back the last couple of years. And nice to see that fire. We see it with a lot of these guys once they hit that number, and pretty cool to see some of the familiar names back at it.
Strike, he hadn't bowled. I haven't seen him in many years. That's what I was doing. I was kind of just going up and down the list, looking to see who I haven't seen in a long time. Rob Rice, Greg Zika. Greg Zika can't be hardly 50. A lot of blasts from the past for me. Bob 7 out on the 2-8-10 there. Turned around.
They don't make a ball that slaps a 10 out right throw like that.
Exactly. My buddy Kent Wagner bowled many team challenges. My guy. Wasn't he from like Palmetto, Florida or something?
Kent Wagner has been all over the map, but yeah, he spent a lot of time in Florida. And his wife Lori here somewhere as well. They work at the USBC Open Championships and then go out to the Senior Tour and travel to those events. And Kent, actually one of my teammates at the Open Championships, one of our companion team members, was my doubles partner last year. So always
Kent Wagner.
Kent Wagner, I know, hard to believe. It was like a pro-am for me, bowling with a superstar.
Well.
I think he just got desperate.
Well, I wasn't going to say that. Obviously, it had to be the stadium that you guys bowled together, right?
It was the stadium, yes.
That was a smart move on his part.
And the plan was to do it again this year, but being that we both now are PBA members, that is not within the rules. So we had to find other partners. And
he'll drop his card when you go back to the stadium.
Well, I appreciated his efforts. Certainly, so did my bank account. He was a member of the team that actually rolled the highest team game in tournament history back in 2014. They bowled 13-18, so things really came together, and they have a very talented team. And Kent, I don't think has bowled as much this year, but now that the tournament's over, he can get out there and hit the events the rest of the way. Some good scores on our featured pairs. Talked about Mr. Bill Sell up there in 11th place at plus 69 and looking to pick up another 23 here.
Uh-oh. Bob Lerner going to throw a shot and point.
Bob Lerner was cruising here in game number 4, but back-to-back splits now.
I think Bob actually turned around and looked at his wife there. Couldn't believe that ball actually looked too much.
Left lane 2-8-10, and now going high on the right for the 4-7-10. Got one that time. Count a little more important on the last shot. But 7 out, 7-1.
That's all after a 5-bagger.
Compared to our left, 2012 Senior Masters winner. He was a youngster back then. Mike Edwards.
Michael Eddy. Big old stud. First 5, spare strike. My man Pete McCordick. I asked him if he got tired of watching Paul beat him every week. He said, well, he hadn't been able to bowl because he works for the PBA. But he's allowed to bowl this one.
On lane 36 right now, Jim Knobla. Another strike here puts him in the 240s.
Wagner and ring 10. And he's hot.
Hall of Famer Brian Voss looking on, taking some mental notes here. After 3, he was at plus 68.
Shot 247 that game.
Knobla will be in the 240s. Pretty good scores here on 33 and 34. Dwayne Mellinger.
Who? Oh, yeah, Dwayne Mellon.
He can get to 236. Throw another
Yeah, he's a
couple
good bowler.
shots like that.
Bo knows bowling. Switch to his high road. And there goes Baba Lurnging. Lower 10, shooting 2-0.
2-0 with a 5-bagger in the
Yeah.
middle. 2-0 the hard way.
Backing up to 2-0.
That's a Canizaro game right there.
I understand.
Get
Train
excited,
wreck.
get lazy after the 7th frame, thinking,
Train
I got
wreck.
this. Yep. I've had a few front 5 190s in my day. That's why I'm sitting back here behind the cameras.
I understand.
Well, other than still being 14 years away from 50, but
Wow. All right. Well, we're heading into the last game, correct?
yes, sir. One more game coming up, and then we'll talk to our leader, get the recap for you, and we'll be back at it tomorrow
All right, Maggie.
at noon local time, 1 p.m. Eastern.
Good.
Guys will have plenty of time to get some rest. Maybe get out on the golf course
Yes,
tomorrow.
I will. I think Weber's playing golf tomorrow morning.
So A Squad will bowl at 5 p.m. local time, 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, just like these guys are doing right now. Cruising along, only 7:30.
I know.
2.5 hours to bowl 4 games.
It's greatness.
These guys don't mess around.
Scoring pace is a little higher to this squad.
Another terrific shot by Mellinger for 236. A high-scoring affair here on 33 and 34.
All right, Matt. I'm gonna get up and walk around here for a second.
All right, folks.
See how it goes.
PBA USBC Hall of Famer Del Ballard stepping in, giving us some insight here to the USBC Senior Masters. Game 4 coming to a close. Game 5 coming right up. Thanks, Del.
Yes, sir.
And there you have it. So we'll watch the exciting conclusion here. A couple big scores. Steve Stein looking to finish with 235. Kent Wagner can get there as well. Game 4 closing up. Game 5 right around the corner.
I had a really bad game. Get him this one. Messenger this day.
Here we are, our final game of qualifying for today. Round 1, about to be complete. Game 5 underway. One of our featured pairs has just, well, no, they both have 4 players. 35 and 6, already in the 3rd frame. Headliner on that pair, Hall of Famer Brian Voss. Here's local favorite, Norb Wetzel. Tripping the 6-8 there, the left-hander. So appreciate everybody stopping by, giving us a part of your day, and hopefully end things with a little bit of excitement here in game number 5. We'll have the final scores for you at bowl.com/Senior Masters later on this evening. And of course, the recap. Again, this is the first of 3 events here in Green Bay in the coming weeks. Senior Masters will run through August 2nd, followed closely by the Super Senior Classic and then the USBC Senior Championships. So check out the action here on Bowl TV. If you're looking for the Super Senior Classic, there's still time to enter. USBC members 60 and older. Come on out to Green Bay, the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley. We look forward to seeing you. All right, our final game nearing the halfway point here on one pair and just past midway on the other. A few strings of strikes early. Couple pairs to our right. Looks like Kerry Painter has the front 6. Waiting on an update of the standings after 4. As soon as that's available, looks like it's coming this way. We'll let you know what's what and who we need to keep an eye on. All right, standings coming our way through 4 games now. Again, Pete Weber, the overall leader at plus 183. Mark Williams and Mark McDowell about 50 pins back, plus 136 and 134. B squad leader is Mike Edwards, the 2012 Senior Masters champ, at plus 133. So he's going to need 250 here in the finale, and we'll see if we can find what pair he's on. He is tied with Ron Moore, again at plus 133. We're going to use the live scoring here to see if we can find where those guys are. And Little Monticelli, one pair to the left at plus 115. And he can shoot 229, so he will come up short. He will not be the leader, but in terrific position, of course. Looks like Mike Edwards is down to our right a little bit. So it does not look like Mike Edwards can catch Mr. Weber at this point. He's down on 41-42. If you are keeping tabs on your favorite players, Ron Moore is actually just a couple pairs to our left here, so we get to keep an eye on him as well. He can still get to 256, and that would be enough. So it's only day one, of course, here. 3 days of qualifying, 15 games before we get down to the top 63. He'll join defending champ Walter A. Williams in match play. Kerry Painter now. 2 pairs to the right with the front 9. Might get down there in just a minute to see how he finishes. Right now you're watching the final game of qualifying on our featured pairs, 33 and 34, 35 and 36. Ron Moore still with a chance to be the first round leader. He's going to need to strike out though. He's at plus 133 with 1 to go. Possible score of 256. That would be enough. Does not appear that Kerry Painter is on the first page of our standings, which goes to 37th place. He's up now on lane 37 with the front 9. If he gets this one, I will head that way. At the same time, keeping an eye on Ron Moore, of course. Ron Moore with the 4.9. So he now mathematically out of the running for that top spot. Does look like it's going to be Pete Weber unofficially. Kerry Painter. 10th shot on its way. And he can't get the 7 to go. So his run comes to an end at 9. All right, so our first pair now done. 201, 209, 148, and 200 it looks like. We'll watch our final few shots here on 33 and 34 and then call it a day from the 2015 USBC Senior Masters here at the Schwabenon Bowling Alley in Green Bay. This is the second qualifying squad of the day. A squad bowled on the fresh earlier, starting at noon. And B squad now bowling on the burn. 5 games. The flip-flop tomorrow. B squad will be back at noon local time. 1 p.m. Eastern. And A squad will be on the night shift, bowling at 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern. Looks like Pete Weber is going to be the day one leader here at the Senior Masters, unofficially plus 183. We'll have a recap and final scores for you up on bowl.com. You can visit bowl.com/Senior Masters later today and see all the details. All right, final frame coming up here on our featured pair. All right, that's going to do it for today's coverage of the USBC Senior Masters. 5 games over 2 squads in the books. B squad now done. And we'll wait for the rest of the house to finish up and get that recap going for you. But we do appreciate everybody joining us here today on Bowl TV. We'll be back at it tomorrow at noon local, 1 p.m. Eastern, as this squad, B squad, takes to the lanes on the fresh. A squad will follow at 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern. We'll be here wire to wire all week long. This is Matt Canizaro. Lucas Wiseman will be here on Thursday night and be set for match play on Friday as we get down to the top 64 for the double elimination match play bracket. See if anybody can dethrone defending champion Walter A. Williams Jr. from Florida, the Hall of Famer, won last year's event in Las Vegas. But again, back on the air tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. Do appreciate everybody joining us. That's the news for now, folks, and we'll see you on the lanes.